amazing mystery baby blanket knitters, and welcome to Mailout 3, the third instalment of the Mystery Baby Blanket Club. Now, I didn't get to see you last month, so I feel like I haven't seen you for a while. We're doing these baby blanket hellos from me every other month. So I'm just wondering how you're getting on with the project. Are you keeping up with the squares? And most importantly, have you any idea what the title is? We've had very few correct answers sent in. So if you're sitting there and you do think you know the answer, do let us know. Do share your thoughts with us by emailing directly to me, debbie@debbieabrahams.com, and I will let you know if you're correct. Let's keep fingers crossed that you are. Now, this month I have another 5 squares for you, and you will be knitting squares 1, 2, 3, 9 and 10. So that means you're going to make a start on strip number 1. You've got 5 vertical strips of squares. Strip number 1 yet you haven't started, but you're going to start it this month with 3 squares in that strip plus 2 others. So let's take a look then at what squares you're knitting this month in a bit more detail before you read my written blog after this intro, which will give you lots more tips and advice. So the first square, and this is in strip 1, is square 1, and it is the letter V. Now, this is a similar stripe pattern with rows of garter stitch and those Fair Isle letters, 2 bands of Fair Isle letters. It's similar to square number 29, which was the letter Z. There are 2 colourways offered for square 1. So you'll either be following the instructions for silver, which is colourway 1, or rosy, which is colourway 2. The chart is actually the same. It's on page 7 of your Mailout. The Fair Isle chart is the same for both colourways, but the changes are in the colours, where you're swapping silver for vintage pink and you're swapping puddle for rosy, but that's clearly indicated in the pattern instructions. So just make sure you knit the correct version for the kit that you've purchased, although you won't have much choice because if you've purchased the silver colourway, you won't have those pink shades and vice versa. So you should be okay with that. Hopefully it's fairly straightforward to follow. So next up, in strip 1 again is square 2, which follows on from square number 1, and this square is called Hug. This is a repeat cable pattern with the same cable twists happening in 5 cable strips across the square. You'll be working the cable as follows. It will be cable 4 back, followed immediately by cable 4 front. So it gives this very kind of chunky, cozy cable pattern, hence the name Hug. It's very cozy and warm, like being hugged. So that's a very straightforward cable that hopefully you'll have no problems with, but you can always reference my tech video for how to knit cables, which you'll find a link to back to my mystery blanket blog. There's a whole tech vid there about cables and how you work them. But if you knitted the first cable, Cuddle, which was in, I believe, the first mail out, then you should be fine with this. It's even easier. There's no bobbles, just cabled stitches, all in one colour, and you're all knitting in the same colourway, same square. It's knitted in Heavenly. So square number 3, also in strip 1, is O is for Owl. So this is your chance to put your intarsia skills to the test. There's no option. You can't opt out of doing the intarsia in this blanket like you can in the mystery blanket. So you've just got to grab your knitting needles and get going with this one. You've already had 2 intarsia knits to do. These are the picture knits. You've had R is for rocket and W is for whale. So this is number 3, the third in the picture knits, which are in this blanket. And I hope you really enjoy this one. He's quite a cute little owl. Little bit of texture on his chest. You can see there with some reverse stitches. And then I have suggested that those details the moon, the stars, and his feet and the letter O could all be Swiss darned or knitted in. That's totally up to you. I chose actually on both of my samples that I knitted for the 2 different colourways, I chose to Swiss darn those details. I found that easier to do, but it's totally up to you. If you find it easier to knit them in, then knit them in as you go. There is a little bit of chain stitch around their eyes. Their eyes are bobbles, puddle for colourway 1 and rosy for colourway 2. A little bit of chain stitch around the eyes there, which will have to be embroidered on. Just one thing I want to mention about colourway 1, you will see on the chart that his left foot, as you look at it, the right foot, is slightly different to the image which you'll find on page 10. So my little owl for colourway 1 is missing a toe in the knitting. Only just noticed after it was photographed, but you know what, does that really matter? Use the chart, which is correct, unless you want your owl to look like mine with a slightly shorter foot. Probably something you might not have even noticed, but I'm going to draw it to your attention because somebody out there will notice it, and I'll get the emails coming in. So I'm going to clear that up now and say, yes, there is a slight difference between the image and the chart. Okay, but the chart is correct. Okay, so we're going to move on and look at the next square, which is square number 9. And square number 9 is in the second strip. So you've already started strip 2 with square number 8. W is for whale. And now you're going to work the letter T. This square also has 2 colourways. So you've got your silver colourway and you've got your rosy colourway. And it's similar to the stripe that you had in square 23, the letter U. Okay, so similar stripe pattern, but different letters. Again, these are ferrule letters, so you're going to be testing your ferrule skills again, but it's quite simple ferrule. And you've only got, let's just have a look, you've only got 11 rows to do. In fact, it's only 9 rows because the first row and the last row of the chart are actually plain rows. So that's just 9 rows of ferrule knitting, which I'm sure you will cope with wonderfully well. So the final square for this month is square 10, which is the letter P. So you've had a couple of other of these large letters. You've had the letter S and you've had the letter Y. And this month you've got the letter P. So this is intarsia, where you're going to be using small balls or bobbins of colour. Very different to the ferrule technique. Really advisable not to take your yarns across the back of the work, even though it's tempting in the middle of the letter P, maybe to take the camel across the back of the cream. But I would highly recommend that you don't do that, that you actually have separate balls for each section of colour. It will be so much neater if you do that, and you will be so much happier. So it's just cream and camel for this colourway, and both colourways, silver colourway, rosy colourway, you're both knitting exactly the same square for number 10, the letter P. So that's your 5 squares for this month, a variety of different techniques. So you've got some intarsia, you've got some ferrule, you've got some stripe patterns to knit up, a little bit of embroidery there too. So hopefully 5 squares that will keep you motivated all the way through to the next instalment, which will come out at the beginning of January the 1st. So just before I sign off and you go and read my blog and then grab your knitting needles to get knitting this month's squares, I just want to remind you that we have some fabulous gift ideas in our online shop for this festive season. So if you haven't got a present or a gift for somebody and you just don't know what to buy them, well, one thing you could think about is my Winter Wonderland socks. This collection of 3 socks were inspired by my mystery blanket, 2019 mystery blanket, Winter Wonderland. And I've created 3 designs. So you have O Tannenbaum, you've got Winter Ball, and there's Rocking Around. All available to buy as single pairs or as a bundle, in which case we give you a discount. But they make a super, super gift. They come packaged with a special Debbie Abrahams header there, and also some information on the back about the inspiration. So that's one idea for your Christmas list if you've still got things to buy. Secondly, we have a 10% off all our festive kits in our shop, online shop, until the 16th of December. So if you pop along and have a look, we've got all sorts of Christmas kits or festive kits. We have bunting, we have Christmas stocking, we have a cow, we have all sorts of different things. So there might be something on there that you either want to treat yourself to or you could give as a gift. And finally, we do have a handful of mystery blanket memberships there for 2024. My big project for 2024, which I am super excited about. We've had many people sign up, but there are a few memberships left. So if you fancy joining in all the fun of a brand new 10-month knit along next month, then do get yourself signed up. It's a great thing to be part of, a lovely knitting community that you'll be joining, and I've got a load of really exciting squares and a fantastic theme for next year. So that's in our online shop. There's plenty in there for you to go and have a look at. Okay, so that leaves me just to say Happy Christmas to you all. It seems incredibly early to be saying this, but we're weeks away, only got a few weeks away. And I know that because my son Seth is so excited about Santa Claus coming. So it's getting forever nearer. Happy Christmas to you all. I hope whatever you're doing and wherever you are, you have the most fabulous time. And I will see you back with my next hello for the mystery blanket on the 1st of February. I won't be calling in to see you in January, but your next set of patterns after this set of patterns will be the 1st of January. So you'll have something exciting to take you into 2024. So take care, everybody. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.